When Eichmann was brought to Israel, I was then the deputy state attorney of the state of Israel, and 2 days after he came, the Minister of Justice called me and asked me whether I would be prepared to be the legal advisor of the police bureau which was entrusted with carrying out the investigation against Eichmann. Actually, a whole prison in the north of the country, not far from Haifa, was vacated for this, and he was kept there. All the 30 or 40 police officers were there, and I was the legal advisor. I was actually in charge of the investigation. I also was his only contact with the outside world until his lawyers came. But I let him know that I was not prepared to talk to him about the alleged offenses, because then I would have to be a witness, and I knew I would be one of the prosecutors in the trial. So at first I just sat there in my office, but I'll never forget the first day, first time that I met him. I was sitting in my office and I was reading the autobiography of Rudolf Höss. Höss was the commander of Auschwitz, the death camp. And he was hanged in Poland in 1948, 12 years before Eichmann was caught. But before he was executed, he wrote his autobiography. And I read that, and on that day I read, he described how they had many days where they had to kill 1,000 Jewish children every day. And he described how the children used sometimes to beg for their lives. And he wrote, when I had to push the children into the gas chambers, my knees were getting a bit wobbly. But then he added, but afterwards I always felt ashamed of this weakness of mine after I talked to Obersturmbannführer Adolf Eichmann, that was his rank in the SS, because Eichmann explained to me that it's especially the children who have to be killed first. He said, because where is the logic that you kill a generation of older people and you leave alive a generation of people who can take revenge and who might also create that race again afterwards? Now maybe that's not devoid of some macabre kind of logic, but 10 minutes after I read that, they told me Eichmann wants to see me. And he came, and I heard his steps outside, and he was sitting opposite me about a yard away. I must admit, after I just read that, it was a bit difficult to keep a poker face. Anyway, that was my first meeting with him. Yes, I mean, it was not so easy. We were relatively lucky. I mean, I was born in Germany. We left Germany in 1938, 2 weeks before the pogrom nights, Crystal Night it's called, when all Jews were arrested in 1938. And we went to Holland. And we left Holland in 1940, 1 month before the German invasion of Holland. And we came to Palestine then on the ship, the Patria, which was sunk on the next journey after that, with 250 people killed. So we were always sort of just one step ahead. And my father managed to rescue all my uncles from the concentration camps that also in 1938 managed to get them entry certificates to Palestine. So that, in a way, made things for our family a bit easier. But it was a traumatic event, and I mean, there's so many things that come back to me at night. The only witness who was already in a gas chamber and could tell the story afterwards, when a train load had arrived with potatoes, and the commander of the SS there said, we haven't got enough people from the SS, so maybe we can take some of the children who were already inside the gas chamber, and they could help unload the train. And so they took the first 20 out, and the other 180 who were in the gas chamber at the time were killed, and the others were killed afterwards. And they said that he'd committed some negligence, that had done some damage to one of the trucks. So he was sent to the camp before being killed with the next group, that he would be whipped. And the SS men who had to carry it out took a liking to him and kept him there as Batman. I mean, moments like that are very difficult to forget. Also, you know, during the investigation, there always were attempts to save, let's say, one Jewish family or one Jewish person. And then I received the letters, let's say, that came to Eichmann, and these were chronological. It's inside the files. So until I got the reply of Eichmann, sometimes a few days passed. I used to dream that maybe someone could be saved, but without any exception, the moment it came to Eichmann, the outcome was always fatal.